Have you seen this chart right here? Have you seen how different Bitcoin's recent top has been compared to the rest? Have you seen how different this bottom is compared to the rest? This chart right here could be a major warning sign. Not for the next week, not for the week after, for the next couple years. I just want to present you the facts, because what we're seeing playing out in front of us right here in Bitcoin's entire history, this has never happened. We're about to do something for the second time ever, but this market structure that we're forming has never happened. And it could be a monumental shift in Bitcoin for the next couple years. If you're new here, my name is Steve. Started in the stock market a little over 20 years ago, made every mistake in the book, and now it's my life's mission to help make sure you don't make all the ridiculous mistakes I did. Over the past 20 years, I figured out how to dominate this game, and I share my knowledge and wisdom with you, hoping to impact your life. We've been covering crypto since 2017, and our main focus on this channel is to help you use your crypto to gain financial freedom. Hit that subscribe button. Let's jump straight into it. This chart right here is the log growth curves. What you're looking at is Bitcoin's entire history. What you'll notice straight away is almost all price action falls within these beautiful lines here. Only on rare occasions, we peeked our head through the top just once, but it was barely, right? You can see the top was perfectly here. This top was just barely above. This top was perfectly here. And what happened to this top? What happened to our top in 2022? And what warning sign is it telling us? Because also we notice the bottom, this beautiful yellow line at the bottom, where we spend, unfortunately, a lot of time. But we usually never go below it. Sometimes we'll wick below like we did here and here with the COVID crash, but usually it's never a body below. And we're on the verge of having our first body below, and the first one in entire history. So something is drastically wrong with this market cycle that we have just completed and that we're in the midst of. And that's what I want to dig into here, because it could spell some danger, a warning sign for the next couple years. So I want to present you the facts. Let's dig into them. But first, I want to say this. With this market cycle, I want you to stay level-headed. I want you to remain level-headed, because this one's a little bit different. This cycle that we're in here, we're pairing it with the bear market of the stock market. And the stock market moves a lot of big hands around the world all simultaneously, and it's really affecting crypto. All right. So this crypto bear market, we've had a few. We've had one down here where we hung out by the yellow line quite a bit. Then we had another one, 2014, 2015, 2016, where we hung out with the yellow line quite a bit. We had our little glitch in 2018, short-lived. Then we had our little COVID crash, relatively short-lived. But again, none of those were coinciding with a bear market in the bigger hands, and that's the stock market, which moves a lot of the money globally. All right, so this one is a little bit different. This cycle, you can see just with the naked eye how different it is compared to the others, right? We had a clear top, we hung out at the bottom, then we had a clear top, we hung out at the bottom. Life was good. Everything was really rhyming, and we had a market top, we hung out at the bottom, and things started acting quite differently, right? That's specifically what I want to dig into. I want to give you the facts. I'm going to give you the facts in a no BS, straight to the point. And then I want to give you my honest opinion, what I believe this chart is saying to us, what I believe is a potential warning, and what I believe could potentially happen over the next couple of years, all right? So I want to get into one thing that could really, really impact your life. I want to help you save a ton of time. I want to help you save a ton of stress, save a ton of money, and recover your losses. How does that sound? How would it feel to recover those losses you just made? It starts with education. Bear markets are the best time for education. I've taken my past 20 years of experience, condensed it down into the most simple and dominating strategies to help you recover your losses, save a ton of time, save a ton of money, and set you and your family up for your future. And right now we have a massive, massive discount because of this bear market. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. The all-in-one is the one flying off the shelves. That has the courses and trade alerts right to your phone or email combined into one. That's the all-in-one. You sign up here. Look at the discount with crypto. Knowing crypto probably has a very difficult time ahead, this is the time to sign up because your crypto is probably going to be worth half the amount in the next handful of months. Sign up now. It'll save you a ton of time, a ton of stress, and set you and your family up for your future. If you have any questions, you can contact me right here. Now, this chart, the log growth curves, are phenomenal for support and resistance. And you can see for the majority of the time, we hang out between this yellow line and this blue line here. You can see these are monthly candles. So the majority of the time, we hang out at this blue line. Once in a great while, once every handful of years, we just dip our toe through the yellow line just to get a feel for the water on the other side. We've never really been on the other side with the body of a candle. Never in history, right? We dipped our toe into the water in 2015 and we're like, we don't like it. We didn't dip our toe in again until 5 years later, right? We just wanted to remember what that felt like. And we dipped our toe in a little bit more that time. We got a little bit ambitious. But this time is a little bit different, right? The bear market that we're in right now, it feels as if we're in the early innings of the bear market. And we're already dipping our toe in this water. And we're already dipping it further than we did in 2015, right? But again, I think it starts with this market top that we had because the market top did not reach the yellow line, right? You can see we reached the yellow line each and every time. This time was a little bit different. Because we didn't reach the top, it tells us logically if we reached the top before and then we spent the majority of the time on this yellow line, if we didn't reach the top this time, we're probably going to spend the majority of our time under this yellow line, which seems absurd. It seems like it's not even possible. And I know the herd, they're already commenting, Steve, this is crazy. It's never going to happen. But I'm just presenting you the facts. The herd came into our comment section in 2018 when we said we were going to break 3K and fall all the way to the 200-week moving average because of a 3-day death cross. They said the same thing in 2022 when we called for a mega crash. The herd has always been commenting, this sounds crazy. It sounds crazy that we would have bodies of the candle under this yellow line because if you look at the 12-year history, we've never had it. But it's looking that way. It's looking that way. It's looking like because we didn't reach the top, this was an abnormal cycle. We're already at the bottom here. We need to really pay attention to this yellow line. So where is this yellow line? What do I honestly think is going to happen? And what are the facts telling us? Let's tackle those one by one. The yellow line right now, as we speak, and again, the good news, the yellow line's rising. Okay, the yellow line has been rising the entire history. Now, the yellow line currently is at 33K. All right, 33K. But right now, our body is through here for only the second time in history. Again, we dipped our toe in a little bit in 2015. We had our body breaching the yellow line, but not closing below. With 2 months, we're already in our first month here. All right, this is where it gets interesting. Because in the coming months, we need to close above this yellow line. We can have bodies breaching like this, but we definitely cannot have a body close below here. That is where things would start to take a turn. Because then this line, which has been our support for 12 years, would become our resistance. Everything in the market, everything in the charts are support and resistance. Everything. Every indicator here, when you go to your indicators and you look up all of these crazy indicators that are here, well, these are my favorites. If you go to traditional indicators, all of those indicators are based on support and resistance. Everything is based on support and resistance. And when you break support, it becomes resistance. It's that simple. So if you have a line that's 12 years been our support and we break it and we hold it as resistance, that is a monumental shift in Bitcoin that nobody's talking about that I wanted to bring to your attention. Because if we started to hold this line as resistance, that's when things will start to take a turn, and it will take years to recover from such a thing. That's what I want to bring to your attention. And what do I think is going to happen? I'll leave you on this note with what I honestly think is going to happen. I believe that if you just showed me this chart, right? If you just showed me this chart, you didn't tell me it was Bitcoin, right? You didn't give me a time frame. You just said, hey, study this chart, read it to me. What do you see? My honest opinion, without any BS, without any fluff. And again, we cover the biggest moves on this channel. That's why you just subscribe to our channel. But here's what this chart is saying. This chart is saying that there's been monumental growth, that the growth rate has been so historic, right? That's why there's not as many candles that hang out towards the top. It's so historic, the growth rate, it's not sustainable. That's why we spend the majority of the time at the bottom recovering, building our base for the future, right? And it tells you that our growth rate has been unsustainable. We have gone up so quickly, we can't have a lot of candles up there, and then we come down and form an enormous base. But it tells you the market is slowing. Over the past 12 years, this cycle that we just had has slowed down substantially. Like, we were on the highway in the fast lane for 12 years, and now we're kind of almost in the breakdown lane, wondering something's wrong with our car. What's going on? It didn't run as fast as it was. We couldn't pass everybody like we always have been. This cycle right here tells us we're slowing down. There might be a problem. Let's try to fix it before it gets much worse. That's what this chart is saying. Now, could we go below this yellow line and hold it as resistance? It's looking like we definitely could. And I'm letting you know that would be very monumental for Bitcoin's future. Okay, that would be something that would take us quite a while to recover from. But we'll be covering it right here every step of the way. This is your time for education. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. The courses and the indicators are at ridiculously low prices to help you and your family. Save a ton of time, save a ton of stress, no BS, straight to the facts, simple courses, easy to understand. Sign up right here if you have any questions right here. I'll see you right back here in the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. There's only one question left: when to sell your cryptocurrency. Click right here, right now, to find the 3 simple steps.